Hey guys, Mark here from Mix It Studios. Welcome to the channel if you're new. I am here to do another react video for you today. We are looking at a track by Protest for Hero. It is called Gardenias maybe? Yes, so this is that song by Protest for Hero. I have heard of this band before. It's one of those names, you know, there are certain bands that you hear their name thrown about a lot, but you just never really get around to checking out. I hope you enjoy my thoughts on it. If you're new to the format I take, I look at things from a sound engineer's perspective, so we're looking at all the technical aspects of this song, from the recording to the mix to the production and so on, and I'm sure I'll share some of my thoughts on the track itself and what I think of the music, but yeah, my primary focus is on the production side of things. So yeah, let's dive in. This is Protest for Hero with Gardenias or Gardenias, however you say it. Here we go. I'm going to stop it here. Yeah, straight away. I mean, waste no time. Go straight in there and yeah, just really like fast-paced, great energy to it. Just a really good groove, and the production is on point. It's just all very like clean sounding, everything's well separated, and the vocals really surprised me as soon as they came in. I wasn't expecting those vocals. Don't know what I was expecting really, but once the vocals came in, weirdly it almost had a slightly kind of Mars Volta vibe to it with some of their more like proggy stuff. Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, I need to listen more, pinpoint some of the stuff that I was starting to hear, but yeah, this is great. Yeah, everything just fits so well here. You know, when you've got all the tones of all the instruments and everything just really like dialed in well, and this is where you really get the difference with musicians who just really know their instruments and how to get the best tone and stuff, and a great producer working on the project where it just elevates things to that next level. It's just such a clean sounding production. Great separation between the different guitar parts, like nice use of that stereo spread on the guitars. The snare just really like slaps, like punches through the mix nicely. The drums just sound great, and the bass tone sits nicely, like beds in the middle of things. There's some nice like little interspersed bits of quite technical riffs, but then it's just really like more sort of chuggy riffs like that just have a really good groove to them. Great vocalist, just really like the tonality of his voice. The more sort of screaming type vocals are interspersed nicely, they're used well in the arrangement. Hearing this for the first time, there's just a lot that kind of comes out of left field. It's just surprising me a lot constantly. Like, I think because of the fast pace of it, there's just a lot of things that keep grabbing you, you know, whether it's some of the little riffs that pop out of there where it gets a little bit techie, or like with the screams on the vocals, just stuff that pops out and grabs you, and it feels like I just don't know quite what to expect from 1 second to the next. So yeah, really exciting energy to it. The kick actually, usually in this genre it's quite like clicky, but this is more bringing out the sound of the beater for that impact, some more sort of like your 3K kind of region. Nice bits of like guttural screams there, but just pop in occasionally. The bass tone for me, obviously I'm listening to this on a compressed YouTube stream, and often the low end kind of suffers a little bit there, but yeah, the bass it's very well defined, but I don't know, I just like bass tones that maybe have a bit more like upper mid bite to it. But yeah, it's still, there's nothing, you know, to dislike about it. It still cuts through nicely and it's still well defined within the mix. Cool. Oh, I like this change in bass tone.
Where is the country I came here to find? It's running its hands through my hair. Its borders and boundaries so clearly defined. It's 45 feet through the air. Only the night sky will witness my flight without so much.
Okay, a lot going on just here. The guitar that just came in, it's like the spread of it got a little closer and then it's a little more mid-focused. Almost sounds like some of the top end has been rolled off on it, like fairly aggressively. Yeah, and then just an interesting kind of syncopation with the guitar riff there. It's kind of weird, like slightly jarring, but in a good way. The bass tone, I don't know whether it was a change in bass tone or maybe it's just because there's a bit more room for it to breathe now in the arrangement, but I can hear a bit more of the upper mid detail. It sounds like there's a bit more distortion on it, definitely.
Out past the margins of all that's finite, it's 45 feet through the air. It's 45 feet from here to there. It's 45 feet through the air. It's 45 feet to bliss from despair. Only 45 feet through the air. It's 45 feet from here to there. It's 45 feet through the air. It's 45 feet to bliss from despair. It's 45 feet through the air. 45 feet from here to there. 45 feet through the air. 45 feet to bliss from despair. Just 45 feet through the air. The world rushes past and it's softly.
Yeah, there was some interesting stuff going on timing-wise in that whole section. I was literally just trying to count it then. I didn't really catch it. It felt like it was still, hadn't changed time signature at all. It was more like the syncopation, I think, just how things were bouncing off each other. The vocal was more kind of free-flowing. Everything else was a little more kind of sort of jolting in its rhythm. I don't know how better to describe it, but yeah, it's just very interesting, very clever. Nice bits of vocal layering there. Nice bits of use of effects on the vocal. And the guitar, that reverb is lush. Wow. Yeah, that was pretty incredible. The kind of song where you just feel like you're taken on a journey from start to finish. It was quite an experience, particularly listening to it for the first time. I hope it's still, I feel like it will only kind of just have more impact the more I listen to it, and the more, because there's a lot of like layering going on there and stuff. Quite a few interesting production touches nearer to the end there with the vocals. There was one sort of neat trick that you can do with vocals to sort of make it sound a bit more, either a bit closer or a bit more like ethereal, or something like that, is doubling up a vocal with a more whispered take. Doing something like whispering can add an extra flavor to a vocal take where, you know, you can make things sound breathier and, yeah, a bit more kind of disconcerting maybe. So yeah, very, very cool. Lots of interesting production touches. Really keen to delve into this one more, and I'm sure, no doubt, I'm going to be listening to more of this band. I kind of wish I'd listened to them earlier. As I was saying, it's one of those bands that I've heard their name floating around for years, but I've just never listened to for whatever reason, never gotten around to it. So thank you very much for the person who recommended this to me, because I probably still wouldn't have listened to them for years to come, I'm sure. So yeah, great introduction to the band as well. Really, really cool and clever track. So yeah, I loved this one. It's just, yeah, fantastic. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on it, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions, any feedback, anything, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos like this.